Hi everybody, it's Lady Lavender here. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some tips and tricks, 3 specifically, to make your essay a lot better. This is usually applied to just 5-paragraph essays, but you can totally expand them out and apply them to longer assignments. Longer everything. Rhetorical devices! Let's get down to business. Okay, tip number 1 is your thesis. So, when you're writing a 5-paragraph essay, or this is really when you're writing a 3-pronged thesis, which is a thesis that has 3 main points that it touches on in your overall argument. You want to make your thesis statement parallel, which means having a repeated grammatical structure. For example, I like eating, reading, and growing potatoes. That's a repeated grammatical structure. In my sentence, in my thesis statement, I repeated the gerund, which is the ing form of a verb. So in this sentence is acting as a noun, but it is repeated. Eating, reading, growing. Those are all 3 the same parts of speech. So therefore, it's a repeated grammatical structure. This gives each of those topics a degree of importance equal to all the other ones, which is important when you want to have a well-balanced argument. Make sure this is stronger. Tip number 2, numero dos. How you take your thesis and apply it to the rest of your essay. So the 3 topics that you have, if you have a 3-pronged thesis and you make a section devoted solely to each of those topics, that gives it a well-ordered structure, especially when you introduce the topics in depth in the same order that you introduce them in your thesis statement. Okay, so you have your first section about eating. Yummy, I love to eat this, I love to eat that. Why do I like to eat? Because blah, blah, blah. Now you have your second section, reading. I like to read this book. I like to read that book. Why do I like to read? I like to read because. Now your fourth section, growing potatoes. I like to grow potatoes because blah, blah, blah. Now, done with your body of your essay in the same order that you introduced it in your thesis, which makes it stronger. And now finally you have your final conclusion paragraph, conclusion section if you're writing a longer essay, and you want to reiterate all the information that you gave your reader in the body paragraphs. Do not add any more information. Do not. You're going to confuse your reader. It's not going to make your argument seem as strong. You also don't want to repeat the same structure as your introductory paragraph. And like, oh, why are you doing this to me? I'm reading your stupid essay. Why are you going to tell me the exact same thing the exact same way? Recap it for me differently. Don't add new information. Recap it for me differently in an interesting way. And then finally, you have your thesis statement at the very, very, very end in slightly different wording than is in the introduction, but in the same order. Good. Number 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, finally, this is the last trick for this video. It's about your hook sentence. Hook sentence! So your hook sentence obviously is what it sounds like. It's the sentence at the very beginning of your essay before you say anything else that gets your reader's attention. Oh, they just said that. Did they just say that? It makes them interested in what you have to say so that they'll want to read the rest of your essay to see why did you say this thing in the very beginning of your essay. Just grabs their attention. Just like a hook. Those are the 3 tips that I have for you about writing a better essay. Have a hook. Have your 3 structured body paragraphs in the same structure as your thesis. Do not add any more new information at the very end. And your 3-pronged thesis, make a parallel thesis statement with a repeated grammatical structure. Alright, as always, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.